Cure is easily one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. It's the type of film that you can see 30 times and read hundreds of articles on, but still leaves you with questions at the end of the day. Its maddening plot, suffocating atmosphere, and seemingly endless mystery all compound to make something I've thought of at least once a week since I first saw it in May earlier this year. Kiyoshi Kurosawa's cult classic psychological horror film has been praised by people around the world for many years, but its disorienting symbolic story and ending have left many confused and with a bittersweet feeling when the credits roll. In this video, I'll run you through a synopsis of Cure and what the movie's deeper meaning is. If you haven't watched Cure yet, please do so and come back, because we've got a lot to unpack. The film follows two men, Takabe, a homicide detective with a mentally ill wife, and Mamiya, an amnesiac drifter whose hypnotic presence leaves violence in his wake. For simplicity, we will call them the detective and the missionary. The film opens in a psychiatric hospital where the detective's wife retells the popular folklore story of Bluebeard. In her version, Bluebeard is a kind and faultless man, except for his strangely bright blue hair, and Bluebeard is killed by his wife regardless, with seemingly little motivation. Though this detail seems odd at first, it becomes the key to understanding Cure's philosophy. Right after this scene, we hear that a businessman has brutally murdered an escort, marking the first of a string of seemingly unrelated murders. Each crime is committed by a different person with no affiliation to the prior murderers, and the only trait connecting them is an X carved into the body of their victim. The detective Takabe, our protagonist, is tasked with getting to the bottom of this mystery. His pursuit of the killer is largely unsuccessful as the body count rises with more cases and each perpetrator all too readily confesses to their crime, despite not being able to say what drove them to do so. Eventually we find out who is to blame for these acts: Mamiya, the missionary, a former psychology student and alleged amnesiac who uses hypnotic suggestion and cues like flicking a lighter to evoke the repressed violence in others. During an interrogation with the missionary, Takabe vents about his wife's illness and the burden she places on him. This scene is central to the meaning of the movie, and similar scenes can be found all throughout the film. The missionary is arrested but swiftly escapes, while the detective learns the methods Mamiya, the missionary, has used for his hypnotism. The missionary asks his hypnotized captive who they are, and the person promptly speaks about their true self. This hypnotism is ended by the missionary tracing an X in the air with his finger. Eventually, the detective tracks down Mamiya and kills him, but not before the missionary can make the same X motion with his finger. After this, we see that the detective's wife has been brutalized in the same method as Mamiya's other victims. And while it's not explicitly stated, it's heavily implied that the detective had killed his own wife following his apparent hypnotism in the conflict with the missionary. The movie ends with Takabe in a diner by himself, eating a large amount of food. Meanwhile, a waiter charges their coworker with a knife, showing that the cure Takabe has received is spreading. Obviously, we have quite a bit to discuss here. Why do people kill so freely, and why is the film called Cure? The answer lies in the wife's story of Bluebeard in the opening scene. In the wife's retelling of the story, Bluebeard was a perfect person, apart from his awkward hair color, yet he was still killed. This is our key to unlock the door to these killers' motives. The truth is that when people are open and honest about themselves, they have plenty of reasons to want someone dead. Mamiya didn't implant any malicious ideas into his puppets. They already had all the motivation they needed. Mamiya simply took off the floodgate. A cop kills his partner because he finds them unpleasant, and Takabe kills his wife because he realizes life is easier without her. The cure found in the movie is not ignorance or hypnotic control. It's honesty and the breaking of all the chains that inhibit someone's natural hatred towards those around them. A missionary seeks to convert others, believing they hold the key to salvation, a cure for suffering. Mamiya acts as such a missionary, preaching happiness through the abandonment of compassion. Takabe, burdened by empathy and love for his wife, eats little throughout the film, but after killing her, shedding his compassion, he finally enjoys a full meal. Mamiya has cured him, spreading his nihilistic gospel to another soul. The true cure is apathy. Kurosawa's grim philosophy suggests that love itself is the poison that torments us. Anti-humanism and nihilistic fatalism are both put on display here, simultaneously showing how caring for others can come at your own expense, and how beautiful humanity is as a whole, that we can continue as a species despite everyone's unceasing desire to see it all burn to the ground. My name is Camden Blair. This has been a synopsis and explanation of Cure. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.